What's going on, guys? Total Drama here today, bringing you another video, and in this video I'm bringing you guys another Total Drama countdown, but this one is one of the most requested ones that I've ever gotten. A lot of you guys have been wanting me to do the top 10 best Total Drama couples. Well, today I thought I would deliver something better than that and actually rank every single Total Drama couple from best to worst. I am excluding Dave and Sky because that's not really a couple, you know, they never dated or anything like that. There are some on this list that were never really couples, but they were more of, they could be considered more of a couple than Dave and Sky could be, so Dave and Sky are not going to be included on this list. I got the idea to do this list not only from all the submissions, but Cove's Total Drama My Way uploaded this earlier yesterday, and I decided, hey, why not I do this? So if you haven't subscribed to Cove, then definitely go subscribe to him. His channel will be in the description down below. And with all that being said, I hope you guys enjoy the video. Alrighty guys, coming in at number 17, I have Cody and Sierra, and the reason why I have these two ranked the worst out of the 17 Total Drama couples is because they are not really a couple. I said that I wasn't going to include Dave and Sky on the list because they weren't a couple, but Cody and Sierra are more of a couple than them two, so I didn't even include Dave and Sky, and plus they suck anyway, so Dave and Sky are not going to be on this list. Cody and Sierra were kind of a couple, but it was never canon, so that's why I threw them on this list, because you never really know. In All Stars, Sierra talked about going home to Cody, and why would she go home to Cody without knowing him well? And Cody says something about becoming best friends, but I feel like they would eventually become a couple. But, you know, I have them at 17 because they were kind of like cute and dorky and everything. It was a weird relationship between them two. It was a one-sided relationship for most of it, but I feel like towards the end of World Tour, Cody really came around to the whole idea of a relationship. You know, if it wasn't for Sierra, Cody definitely wouldn't have made it as far as he did, so I loved that. I really loved how, you know, Sierra carried him throughout the entire season, and there's not really much to say about these two. But yeah, guys, Cody and Sierra at number 17. Alright, guys, so coming in at number 16, I have LESHAWNA and Harold, and the reason why I have LESHAWNA and Harold at 16th place rather than at a better placement is because they were never a canon couple either, but I feel like these two had a better dynamic than Cody and Sierra, because LESHAWNA and Harold was just such an odd pair. You know, you're never going to find a pair like this like anywhere else, and you know, it was a really cool pair because they dedicated an entire episode to this relationship, the same episode that Harold was eliminated in Extreme Torture in Total Drama Island. And yeah, so Harold was eliminated in that episode, but this entire episode they were trying to figure out who this mystery writer was, the one that was writing haikus about LESHAWNA and poems about LESHAWNA, you know, everything like that. And you could tell that he really did like her. And it was weird because this was really out of the blue. There was never really any sort of hint throughout the season that this would happen, other than in the first episode whenever Harold's, like, you know, showed that he kind of liked her. But that was really all they had, so there was no subtle hints or anything like that. But I thought this was really, really neat. You know, they have this strong dynamic going. They're never a canon couple, but I feel like they're dynamic. And I apologize, guys, if I ramble or I don't make much sense in this countdown. It's because it's 1:30 in the morning right now, so my brain's not fully on, so if I do stutter and stammer in my words, then I apologize for that, but this is the reason why. But yeah, guys, LESHAWNA and Harold at number 16. Alright, guys, so coming in at number 15, I have SHAWN and Jasmine from Pocatello Island, and this was an interesting couple to say the least. I don't really think there are any bad attributes about this couple, but there weren't really many great ones, and that's why I have them listed at number 15 rather than at a better placement on the list, because they are a canon couple, obviously, but there was no real dynamic between the two that I saw. I mean, obviously there was a dynamic between them, but there wasn't as strong of an emphasis on it, if that makes any sense. I felt like the whole time, you know, throughout the season, all they were really doing was discussing what they would do with the money. I don't really think they were talking too much about their relationship or anything like that, and plus, for like 4 episodes after the relationship had kind of started, they weren't anymore because Shawn thought she was a zombie, and, you know, it was just weird. They weren't given enough episodes to really build this up as a great relationship. I feel like if this would have been an all-season thing rather than having that break, then they definitely would have been a better couple, but there's not really much to say about these two. These two are really great characters in the Total Drama franchise. You know, they're really iconic characters, but their couple wasn't as strong as some other ones. Don't get me wrong, they were amazing. This list, being low on the list, you know, being at like 15th, 16th, 17th, is not necessarily a bad thing, because all of the couples in Total Drama were very good couples, so if you have a bad placement, you are still a great couple more than likely, and these two were a great couple. They weren't as good as the other ones, but they were still a very good couple, and that's why they are at number 15. Alrighty guys, so coming in at number 14, I have Mike and Zoe, and this couple wasn't necessarily as good as maybe Shawn and Jasmine, but the reason why they were placed higher than Shawn and Jasmine is because Mike and Zoe's couple really did contribute to storylines well. Like, they are one of the few couples that you can say really did contribute to the storyline and really had a lot of episodes dedicated to them. Now, with that being said, the reason why they are higher on this list is because their couple was kind of meh. You know, like, it was an alright couple. It wasn't by any means bad, but you had Zoe, who was really, I mean, honestly bland. She was just trying to fit in, and that was basically her character. And then you have Mike, who's not bland by any stretch of the imagination. You know, he's got all these multiple personalities that are great personalities. Mike from Revenge of the Island was absolutely great. He's one of my favorite characters. All-Stars, you know, Mike was barely in All-Stars, so it didn't really feel like his character kind of got worse. But, you know, it's just that Mike has so much to bring to the table, and Zoe, I mean, she has like a good personality, but she doesn't have a personality at the same time, if that makes any sense. You know, she's just a really nice, caring person, and that's really all she has going for her. You know, she doesn't do anything special. She's not like somebody like Bridget, who's a nice, caring person, but is also has all these attributes. You know, like a vegan, they play that into storylines as well. And then she's a surfer, and she does all these cool things. Travels the world surfing, and you know, you have Zoe, who has a pet hamster, I'm pretty sure, and just sits in her room and doesn't have any friends, and she's nice and she's caring, but that's basically it. And so she's kind of bland, but overall, you know, this couple really did contribute to storylines well. I mean, All Stars was basically based around these two, and Revenge of the Island was sort of based around these two, but it was also based around more of the other characters. As to our All-Stars, was basically the entire thing was based around Mike and Zoe. But I thought they were a decent couple, and that's why they're at number 14. Alrighty guys, so coming in number 13, I have Carrie and Devin from the Redonkulous Race, and I really like this couple a lot. You know, the majority of the season, it was Carrie trying to win over Devin, and Devin had a girlfriend, and just, you know, all of these roadblocks for Carrie to finally tell Devin that she liked him and all these things because they're lifelong friends, and she's had a crush on him for a good bit, but she's never been able to tell him. She's always too scared. And then Devin breaks up with his girlfriend, and then, you know, Carrie sees this opportunity like, hey, okay, this is my time to snag my man and finally, you know, accomplish this goal and achieve this dream of hers, and she does it. And, you know, it was really a great episode whenever you know, they finally solidified them becoming a couple and then starting a relationship. The only problem that I have with this couple is that they didn't have many episodes as a couple. They were in more episodes as friends than they were as a couple. I don't really remember a lot of episodes whenever they were as a couple. I think it was like 2, maybe 3 that they were a couple. I'll have to go back on it. There's not anything bad to say about these two or the couple. It's just that they didn't have enough episodes as a couple, and that's why they are at number 13. Alright guys, so coming in at number 12, I have Crimson and Ennui from the Redonkulous Race, and this is a couple that I feel like a lot of people don't really know are a couple. I feel like people know that they're a couple, but then they kind of forget that they're a couple, if that makes any sense. But yeah, obviously they're a couple, you know, they're the Goths, and they had the episode that they had their makeup washed off and everything, and they looked at each other as humans, I guess you could say. But, you know, they weren't goth anymore, they looked normal. It was just really cool to see how you could really tell that they were into each other, because that was kind of like a you know, chopping of the chain from, you know, the chain of the emo life, like, you know, into, I guess, breaking into like a new person. You could really see the sincerity and, you know, them just, you could see the chemistry between the two, because whenever they're goth, you know, they're just kind of like, yeah, whatever, it's cool. And they never, you know, they never have any romantic stuff, because you're goth, you don't do romance. But whenever they weren't goth, you know, and they took off the makeup, you could really tell that they didn't want to be goth anymore. And you could tell that there really was a great bond and great, you know, I don't really know what to say. You could tell that they were perfect for each other. And that really solidified them as a great couple, and that's why Crimson and Ennui from the Redonkulous Race are at number 12. Alrighty guys, so coming in at number 11, I have Ryan and Stephanie from the Redonkulous Race, and man, did I love these two. Like, these two are one of my favorite teams from the ridiculous race. I loved that they were the daters, and then the haters, and then back to the daters. You know, whenever they first came in as the daters, they were alright. You know, there wasn't really anything too special about them. I didn't see them going very far in the show, and then they switched to the haters, and like they were still dating, but they acted like an old married couple. You know, they were bickering and bickering at each other, and I loved that. I thought this really shined a new light to their team and to them as a whole, you know, as a couple. And I feel like the writers going into it had plans for them to just stay as a couple the entire time, and then after getting through it, I feel like they kind of saw that maybe it wasn't working, and it kind of got old, so then they switched it up to the haters, and then they brought them back to the daters. And I believe whenever they brought them back to the daters, that was the same episode that they were eliminated in. Ultimately, they had a great relationship. The nonstop bickering really, really was fantastic. Never would I ever think that nonstop bickering between two people would be a great thing for the show, but it really was a great thing. I really love these two. I absolutely love this couple. Stephanie and Ryan are definitely two iconic characters in the Total Drama franchise, and that's why they are at number 11. Alright guys, so coming in at number 10, I have Tyler and Lindsay, and I really like this couple a lot. This is a very stereotypical couple. You have the dumb, the dumb chick, the dumb blonde, and the jock who sucks, or just a jock in general, and, this couple was really great. They really fit perfectly because Total Drama Island was all about the stereotypes, and they really wanted to drive the stereotypes really into your brain and just have every character be stereotypical, with Ezekiel being the farm boy and Eva being a jock, and then, you keep moving on, and then you have Tyler, who's also a jock, but he's more of like a failed jock, the clumsy jock, and then Lindsay, who's the ditzy blonde, the dumb blonde, and, you think to yourself, okay, well, if they're doing all these stereotypes, they have to put these two together. And sure enough, by episode 3, they're laying on a counter, making out. It's just like this couple really has a lot of potential to go far, and they're one of the only couples to never break up and still go on. Granted, they're kind of a couple that was weird, like they were a couple, but like Lindsay didn't really know who Tyler was. It was a weird couple. But they were still a couple. They say the opposites attract, but that's not the case with Tyler and Lindsay because they're perfect for each other. They are exactly alike, and they fit perfectly with each other. They're two puzzle pieces that match perfectly, and that's why Lindsay and Tyler are at number 10. Alrighty guys, so coming in at number 9, I have probably the weirdest couple in Total Drama history. This is Sam and Dakota / Dakota Zoid, and I really liked this couple. It was definitely different. It was definitely one that I didn't expect at all. Opposites do attract in this scenario, and Sam and Dakota really did have a great relationship going on, and I really loved how whenever Dakota turned into a mutant, into the Dakota Zoid, Sam stuck by her, and that just showed that Sam really is like a loving and caring person, and he's really genuine, that he doesn't care about looks, he cares about the personality. Dakota didn't lose her personality, she just lost her looks, and Sam didn't care. Sam wanted to stay with her. He even liked her more whenever she was a Dakota Zoid because, it kind of reminded him of a video game character. But there's not really much to say about these two. They really are two iconic characters. They're an iconic couple. They definitely match perfectly together, and it's a great duo. And that's why Sam and Dakota are at number 9. Alright guys, so coming in at number 8, I have Trent and Gwen. And I really did love this couple a lot because, in Total Drama Island, they were one of the main couples next to, of course, Duncan and Courtney. You had Trent and Gwen on the Screaming Gophers, Duncan and Courtney on the Killer Bass. And this was a long-term couple, just like, the one on the Killer Bass. And I really love this. I feel like this was a couple that could have went far and potentially lasted the entirety of, the 7 seasons and maybe more, because we don't know if we're getting any more seasons or not. But this is definitely a couple that had a lot of potential to keep going. Obviously, they completely obliterated it in Total Drama Action, but I'm not going to talk about that because I just want to be positive in this video, and that's all negativity in Total Drama Action for this couple. But yeah, Trent and Gwen in Total Drama Island were really iconic. They were, I'm pretty sure they were the first couple to form next to, of course, Tyler and Lindsay. But Tyler and Lindsay really formed in episode 3, and then Trent and Gwen kind of formed in The Big Sleep, and then they also had some exchanging of looks in the first episode, but they really kind of solidified themselves as a good friendship turned couple in the big sleep. And, Trent and Gwen were really iconic. This was absolutely adorable couple. There's not really any bad things that you could say about it in Total Drama Island, because there was nothing wrong with this couple in Total Drama Island. Action is a different story, but Total Drama Island, they were a great couple, and ultimately, I really do love this couple as a whole, and that's why Trent and Gwen are at number 8. Alrighty guys, so coming in at number 7, I have Courtney and Scott from Total Drama All-Stars, and this right here is one of my favorite things from Total Drama All-Stars, without a doubt. It probably is my favorite part of Total Drama All-Stars, because this was such a random pairing of people. Next to Sam and Dakota, this is probably one of the strangest Total Drama couples ever, but man, was it great. You have Scott, who's showing some inner Rodney. Rodney gets all stumbled in his words, and Scott was getting kind of stumbled in his words. He really showed that he had never really been with a girl before, and he never had a girlfriend, because he was like, "I like your face." Like, that was one of his pickup lines to Courtney, and it was really like an adorable couple. There's not really anything bad you could say about them. I wish they would have lasted a little farther, and I wish they would have never broken up, to be honest. But then again, there's another couple that I like Courtney with just a little bit better, but I'll get to that in a bit. But yeah, Scott and Courtney were definitely an iconic couple. I don't really have much to say about them, because you guys know why they're iconic. But yeah, I guess Scott and Courtney, iconic couple, because they just fit so perfectly together, and that's why they are at number 7. Alright guys, so coming in at number 6, I have Alejandro and Heather, and I really do love these two as a couple, because they fit perfectly as a couple. They are two anti-heroes who really aren't good, but they aren't bad. Heather redeemed herself in World Tour, because she was obviously, a complete, total you-know-what in the first 2 seasons, and then Season 3, she kind of got better. She actually turned into a horrible person to a slightly horrible person. She got better, and Alejandro, of course, is a villain, as well as Heather, but they really do fit perfectly together. There's not really anything to say about these two, because they were a great rivalry in Total Drama World Tour, and even at Total Drama All-Stars, whenever they had the rivalry, and then they turned into a relationship again, because I love that, whenever they're competing against each other, like, they are really head to head, like, they're not showing any mercy. And then once they're both out, or they're both done, or the competition's just over, then they're like absolutely romantic, and they become a couple, and I just absolutely love that about them too. But there's not really much to say about this iconic couple, because you guys know why they're so iconic, and that's why Alejandro and Heather are number 6. Alright guys, so coming in at number 5, I have Owen and Izzy, and I really do love this couple a lot, because of how wacky and crazy these two are. They really do fit perfectly together, and this is a couple that I could definitely picture happening before it ever happened. These are two people that if Owen was ever in a couple with somebody, and Izzy was ever in like a couple of showmance with anybody, these are like the two people that I would pair each other with on like a blind date or something, because they fit perfectly together. They really do blend perfectly. They're a great couple. Ozzy is one of the best showmances from Total Drama in its entirety, and I really do love these two, and I know I've said that a million times, because they fit perfectly together, as I've said about multiple people on this list, but that's what makes a great couple, is whenever they fit perfectly together. I like these two a lot more than I like a lot of other couples, because of just how wacky, and just how much I love the individual characters, and then moving over to the characters as a whole. They really do they fit perfectly. There's not really anything else. There's no words that can describe it other than the fact that they fit perfectly together. I love, in episode 17, I believe it is, Hook, Line, and Screamer, the episode that DJ's eliminated, and the Instinct Cycle Killer with a chainsaw and a hook challenge, whenever Owen shoves Izzy out in front of the killer and says, "Here, take Izzy," or just whenever they're running and Izzy talks about filming a good wipeout scene, and just stuff like that. They really do have great scenes together, and they're two characters that you could just pick them and just make a great scene out of them. You could really have an entire episode of Total Drama dedicated to these two, and it would be one of the best episodes of the season. And Owen and Izzy are really a great couple, and that's why they are at number 5. Alright guys, so coming in at number 4, I have Duncan and Gwen, and the reason why I have Duncan and Gwen at number 4 is because this was a really good showmance. I really do like this couple a lot. Obviously, I don't like it as much as the other couple. I'm not going to talk about them quite yet, but Duncan and Gwen, they really do fit together. They're both into the same thing. They both seem like they listen to that kind of punk rock music, and they like horror movies and stuff like that. They both have dyed hair, and piercings and stuff like that. And, you know, they just really are meant for each other. And I really do like this couple a lot for those reasons, because they are basically the same person. And I find that really cool. You know, Gwen's the type of person that's like a goth, but she's a really nice goth. You know, Duncan's kind of like has a I don't care attitude, where Gwen's like she does care, but she's also into the same stuff as Duncan. You know, I really do like that, because they're different people, but they're not at the same time. And that doesn't make any sense, but I know you know exactly what I mean by that. And, you know, these two really are just perfect for each other. You know, Duncan and Gwen, I could sit here all day about how great these two are, but yeah, guys, Duncan and Gwen are at number 4. Alrighty, guys, so coming in number 3, I have Jeff and Bridget, and this is one of my favorite total drama couples. You know, they're my 3rd favorite out of all 17, and I really do love these two, because they fit perfectly together. They're both into surfing, and they're both just about that righteous life, and just, you know, just that chilling out, just hanging out by the beach, and they just love the outdoors, and they both have a love for the ocean and everything like that. And they're both really chillax people, and I just love that. They really do fit together perfectly. And, you know, Jeff can get a little crazy at times, and then Bridget comes in to calm him down, and just to I don't know, get him with reality again, you know, whenever he was kind of becoming a little egocentric in Total Drama Action and World Tour, when he was like the main host of Aftermath. You know, she would kind of bring him back down to earth and kind of get him in touch with reality, and, you know, like give him a reality check basically, and say, you know, the world doesn't revolve around him. She really kept him in line, and I love that, because she was kind of like a mom to him, but it really was a relationship, because usually in most relationship it's the girl that wears the pants in the family. But you know, these two really do fit perfectly together. They are one of the only couples to never break up. Well, I mean, like, to be together the last time that we have seen them, because they are still together to this day. You know, in Redonkulous Reese, Jeff brings up Bridget and says, you know, I miss you, babe, or I love you, babe, something like that. And, you know, they just have been together for so long. I believe the time span between Total Drama Island and Redonkulous Reese is 3 years. And, you know, 3 years is a long time to be together. And I don't think they're going to stop anytime soon. I feel like they're going to stay together forever and ever. And I could see this becoming, you know, a lifetime couple in marriage, and, you know, them just staying together until the day they die. And these two really are kind of characters. They fit perfectly with each other, and that's why they are at number 3. Alrighty, guys, so coming in at number 2, I have Noah and Emma. I absolutely love this couple. You know, this really was a great couple, because Noah is obviously my favorite character. I mean, if you haven't figured that out yet, if you haven't cracked the mystery, then you're not a very good detective. My name is Total Drama Noah, hence Noah is my favorite character. But, you know, this couple was absolutely great. I would have hated this couple. I would have hated this couple if this was the reason why Noah and Owen were eliminated in Redonkulous Race. But it wasn't, and I'm very thankful for that. I love that they didn't make Emma ruin Noah's chances of winning, because that would have triggered a lot of people, including myself. And this is really an iconic duo, because they do fit perfectly together. And I feel like Noah's always had that missing piece in the puzzle of Noah. You know, there was always that one thing, and I could feel it, that just, you know, bothered him, and he just didn't feel complete as a person, and I never really knew what that was. But coming to Redonkulous Race, I realized that it was because, you know, he had never had a show like this before. And after I saw that he got this opportunity, I was actually really excited about that. But I was also really worried at the same time, because I didn't know if this was going to screw him over in the Redonkulous Race. But, you know, in hindsight, it didn't, and I'm very, very thankful for that. You know, he was cool. It didn't ruin his game at all, and he really, like, he had a great love interest. You know, like, I wouldn't think that he would be the best in a love storyline, but man, was he good. And Owen and Kitty, you know, being as like the kind of wingman was cool too. But ultimately, you know, Noah and Emma, who we're talking about right now, and this was just a phenomenal couple. They really do fit perfectly together. And, you know, I feel like Noah could really sleep happy with, you know, having a relationship. And I don't know, it was really satisfying for me to see Noah happy, because he always seemed like he was, you know, he was like in a good mood, but he never really seemed like he was 100% happy with himself. And then whenever he finally met Emma and started dating her, I feel like that was whenever he really truly was happy with his life. And I absolutely loved that, because I feel like he really deserved it. And Noah and Emma is one of my favorite couples, and that's why they are at number 2. Alright guys, I apologize. My voice is like absolutely gone. I have been talking for 30 some minutes. I'm definitely gonna cut this like all out, most of it out. I'm gonna try to trim this video down quite a bit, but I have been talking for a while, so my voice is basically gone. But yeah guys, coming in at number 1, obviously you would have guessed it by now, it's Duncan and Courtney, and this is iconic. These two, good lordy, these two are some of my favorite characters. Courtney is probably my favorite female character, at least in the top 3, without a doubt. She is a great character. Duncan, great character as well. He's one of my favorite males. And, these two are probably my favorite two from Total Drama Island. Next, obviously, Noah and a couple other people. But I really love these two characters. They really do. They really had some great storylines together because, as I mentioned before, how Bridget would kind of keep Jeff in line. I feel like this, even though Duncan was kind of like the juvenile delinquent, so you think, he's a radical guy, he's the one that's doing all the pranks and stuff, he kind of kept Courtney in line, because she became really, like, strict with herself, and she was just really uptight. And, she was just, didn't want to do anything fun. She just needed to let loose, and she needed to have fun. And Duncan kind of showed her that side of life. And, this really made Courtney's character a lot better, because if she would have just been all bossy and stuck up, like she kind of was in the first few episodes, and, she was just, like, really, just seemed like she just wasn't having a good time, but she didn't want to have a good time, she was just stuck up. If she would have been like that, then she would have been a really bad character, in my opinion. But whenever Duncan came in and really showed her this wild side of life, and really showed her how to have a good time, then her character really became great, and it made Duncan's character even better whenever they finally, they had that kiss, and then they had a better storyline going on. They solidified that relationship. I think that was the same episode that Courtney was eliminated in, but, they still, she was brought up quite a bit throughout the rest of the island, and then obviously Action and World Tour. But, this really was an iconic relationship, because the build-up to the actual relationship, it was amazing, just having Duncan really chase for her without chasing for her, like he was subtly chasing for her the entire season, and then to have her finally, give him that kiss, and to really show, like, that she liked him back and everything was just absolutely amazing. It was really a great time to be a fan of the show, because, you just kind of, you were happy, like, you were finally like, it's about time, that it happened. And this was a great moment in Total Drama history that these two became a couple, and they are just without a doubt an amazing couple. And my voice is basically gone, so I'm going to stop rambling. I know if anybody has watched the video this far, then they're probably happy that I'm done too. But I could go all night about how these two are the best couple in Total Drama history, but I'm not going to, because I know you guys know why I think they are. I feel like you guys already know, so I don't really have to explain myself. But yeah, guys, Duncan and Courtney at number 1. Alright guys, that's going to do it for the video today. I absolutely lost my voice throughout the video, but if you did watch the entire video, then please let me know, because I really would appreciate that. If you did watch the entire video, then comment down below something like pickles, just comment something random so I know that you did watch the entire video. And yeah guys, please like the video if you did enjoy, because this was a long video. This is almost 40 minutes in the recording. I don't really know how long I'm going to make this. If this video becomes too long, then I may have to split this up into parts, but I don't think that's going to happen. But regardless, thank you so much for watching this video. Like I just said, please like the video if you did enjoy. Comment down below whatever you want. If you made it this far, comment down below pickles, or just whatever you want saying that you made it this far. And if you haven't already, please subscribe. We're already at 812 subscribers, I think. That's absolutely crazy. I feel like we're already going to hit 900 subscribers, even though I feel like we just hit 700 subscribers. Like, we've been getting subs so fast, and I'm beyond humbled by it. It really does mean a lot to me, and I really appreciate whenever you guys come in and watch the videos, because it means the world to me. And, I could ramble all day about how much, your guys' support means to me. But, yeah, just thank you for all the support. But, yeah, please subscribe if you haven't already, because we're gaining a lot, and I really want to hit my goal of 850 before my birthday. My birthday's February 5th. I feel like we can definitely do that. Yeah, we're 38 subscribers off, and there's like 38 days or more than that. But yeah, please like the video if you enjoyed. Comment down below whatever you want. Subscribe if you haven't already. I had to do that outro one last time so I could remember what I was getting ready to say next. But yeah, guys, I hope you have yourselves a fantastic day. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you watched the entire video, you are a trooper. My voice is basically gone, so I'm gonna quit talking. I can't even speak properly, but I'm gonna quit talking. But yeah, I hope you have an amazing day, and thank you so much for watching this video. Peace out.